Hello, everybody. Hello. Um, so again, I know I've just been bombarding y'all with videos. I'll take a break, I promise. I'm just, now we're seeing some changes in our world a bit for a time. So we're looking now at the world around us is very, very sensitive to the things. I mean, we even look at the bees, the insects, the animals. I mean, the trees. Those are the things that we have to preserve. I was looking at, you know, somebody was swatting some bees today. I was like, hmm, I was thinking about what it was like to be a bee, or what it would be like to be a bee. I was like, you know what? You gotta let the bees, live because they're helping your flowers bloom. And then I was like, it's those little things, those insects we probably want to kill. I'm not saying I'm a vegetarian or a vegan or nothing, but I'm just saying like, these animals also have some sentience as well. So it was something I had to really think about how we are perceived up there. Again, you have to say some of us are like ants compared to the things that are up there. Um, but then some of us, again, with this sun here, carries a little bit more than some of these other beings in your planet, some of the other gods that you've worshipped. I mean, I'm not saying, I didn't say it like that. I'm explaining like I didn't mean to say it like that. I'm taking it, but I'm saying in terms of how they would treat you if they saw you. I'm saying like some of the stuff we're looking at in comparison. How would you treat an ant? The same mercy you show an ant is the same mercy that God will show us. In some cases, uh, some of us, I mean, in comparison to the heavens, that's our relationship. Again, you know, some people are so powerful up there, they throw a lightning bolt down to strike you. So it's like, they were making too much noise. I mean, there's a reason why the world is the way it was for a time. Rulers of this world. Again, so looking back at it, uh, the relationships we have with each other, with the earth, things like that, that's gonna be very powerful to think about. Even for this, sun, the love wanes cold sometimes. But these relationships we have with each other are just put in there as a reflection of the things that are happening above our heads, below our feet. Like we're looking now, aspects of our mind. You have pretty much knots that could be tied in the lower mind, the higher mind, with people, those relationships, those family groups that you have. So those aspects of your character again are reflected out, and again, because of the nature of these connections you have all different situations based on those connections. So ties to cut, ties to connect. It's sort of those again, those strings. Those are the strings in your mind, basically. So something that some people have to overcome, and then some people have to more so build. You have to build off those relationships, build off the self, knowing who you are. Again, because those are the connections. Again, we're looking at eons. We're looking at, we're looking at things that probably we just have to experience, because that's the only level that we can get to say, I've experienced this, this situation. So that's why you go through some of the situations you do in your relationships with your family, whatnot, parents, things like that, spouses, things like that. But just the friendships that you make along the way, those are just very rare to find. So those are just blessings and miracles. Again, I just like it. No one needs to feel like walking on eggshells or anything like that with the Most High over our heads, because it's just a friend, and for the most part, again, you're safe and protected, and yeah, it's whatever you like, because these, again, these energies are, they are just, I mean, the physics of our universe. Again, we have cells that are alive, microscopic beings that are alive within us. They even have their own relationships as well. They die out too. Their life cycles are quick for us in our perspective, like up there. But then down here, it's like, I mean, if you're inside the cellular microscopic organisms, you're like, well, I mean, they're probably living for much longer in relative to our life. So that's something that's really cool, because you look at these ants again, they are working hard. They're lifting things, what, twice their size or whatever. It's crazy. But it's like their own little storylines, the macroverse and the microverse of life. So it's much bigger. Again, in this life, I've kind of, gone out from outcomes, things like that. I mean, many years ago, really, I guess I didn't care too much. That's kind of why the world is the way it is now, because sometimes you don't care too much. I mean, pretty much things pretty much fall apart. And that's when the situations again are definitely turned back on you, because you don't care too much. You're like, oh. So again, the world, you have to care a little bit more than you do now, because it's one of those things where I'm gonna have to answer for it. When I see the Lord, I'm gonna have to answer for everything I've done on this planet, every wrong I've done. I'm gonna have to answer for those things I've done, but not to put it on you as a stressful thing, as a fear, because not to say the fear base is what it keeps you guided, but I'm saying it is one of the things, of course, but I'm saying the love and light that you have is what you have here on earth. It transcends time itself, all of the densities, all the dimensions, time, life, even death, because again, to live this life perfectly, I mean, only one man did that, and he basically undied himself. He lived so well that he undied himself. He resurrected. So we're looking at Christ Jesus, Yeshua, as the really, he is someone that I think for his resurrection, he had really no one who thought he was going to resurrect. Everybody pretty much didn't believe it until they saw it. I mean, but Thomas, I mean, he really had to feel his hand. He had to see the hole that was inside of his palm. He had to see such things, because Thomas was a doubter. I mean, he knew a lot of the teachings. Again, he recorded it. The Gospel of Thomas was pretty legit. But I was just saying how that hole, he needed to see the hole inside of his hand, because that hole is really revealed sort of that the body had regenerated completely. So that's another level we're looking at entirely. But yeah, again, get your relationships right, because you care too much. I mean, don't care too much. Again, it's something that could really ruin somebody's mental health and things of that nature. So it's something that is a restoring process, because most of your relationships, again, are just a reflection of who you are as a person, your soul, all that stuff. So those connections you make that are made probably even before you're born, sometimes in the above or in the below, because you don't want the below, of course. You probably want to throw those relationships away, but I'm saying the higher connections that will probably grow you as a person, you'll need them for life. So that's something. Again, I'm Mr. Know-It-All right now, because I gotta tell you people, I just really want to keep this information to myself, because look, this might be a national security. Some of the things I said might have actually affected some national security things. It's too hot in the car, veins are popping out, but the sun and the air, the sky. It's just refreshing to be out in nature, things like that. Enjoy yourself, because again, life is beautiful for what it is. You have to look at it like that. But again, some of the things up there, you make too much noise. There's some down here, so we gotta be a little bit more quiet for them up there, because a lot of events that happen up there in those planets. So we'll do what we can, because we're only human for the most part. At least as of today, we're only human. So that's pretty much all we've got is each other. So, alright, everybody. See y'all soon.